All right, Grandpa. So today we're going to be talking about your life, where
Keep yourself quiet.
you were born, and you can tell us a little bit about your parents and your grandparents. So let's talk about that first. So where were you born?
I was born in Cuba,
Okay, what part?
in Orenti.
Okay, and so when you were coming up, what was that like? Were you speaking Spanish every day, or were you speaking English, or?
Well, I go to Spanish school,
Mm-hmm.
and my parents them speak English,
Mm-hmm.
and there were a lot of people there that from Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
that speak English, so
Okay.
it was between.
So, would you say the community that you lived in had a lot of Jamaican people?
Oh yes,
So, why were they in Jamaica? What were they doing? Like coming there for work? Or
before
they were working there?
yes, in Cuba.
Okay, so they left Jamaica to go to Cuba to work, and they were
Yes,
just living there.
they were living there,
Okay,
and we all live as neighbors.
okay.
Hmm.
And so, what were your parents like?
My parents,
Mm-hmm.
my parents they was working with the American company,
Mm-hmm.
both my father and my mother,
Okay.
and I they leave me when they go to work
Mm-hmm.
with other Jamaican that live on the
Mm-hmm.
they would call it oh boy,
Like a neighbor?
yes,
Okay, so the neighbor was the babysitter.
yes,
Okay.
yes, until they come
Okay.
home.
All right. What were they? What was the American company? What were they doing?
The American company
Mm-hmm.
they plant field
Mm-hmm.
and raise a lot of cows and
Okay.
horses,
Okay.
mule and so on.
Okay. So it was like agriculture and farm
Yes,
stuff.
yes, they
Okay.
farming. They were farmers.
Okay.
Cane,
Sugar cane.
Irish potato,
Okay.
yes, and boniato potato.
So who were your grandparents?
My grandparents was, oh boy, I don't remember the name. Sarah Gallimore.
Sarah Gallimore.
That's my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and my father,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't in Cuba at that time.
He was in Jamaica.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember them? Like when you were growing up or no?
Yes, when I growing up, I remember them.
What were they like?
Well, my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
just like me.
Okay.
Yeah, we resemble each other.
And that was the picture that I showed you the other day, right? That was him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and what about your great grandmother? Do you remember what she was like?
My great grandmother, she did resemble my mom,
Okay.
Sarah Gallimore.
Sarah Gallimore. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about your parents? What were their names?
Well, my parents, after they leave Cuba, they leave Cuba and go to Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And they build their house.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was a dressmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And she started to send me to school.
Mm-hmm.
The school was Limtree Garden.
Okay.
And I go to school until then 1947.
Mm-hmm.
They asked me what trade I would like.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I told my father chauffeur. He said, well, chauffeur is not trade. I remember that he said chauffeur is not trade. So I'm going to send you to tailor trade to learn to make clothes.
So
When he said it, I didn't like it, but I have no choice and I couldn't show that me not like it for I would get a lashing. So me just make up my mind and go.
okay.
That was the year 1937.
1937.
Yes, and we spent 3 years
Mm-hmm.
to learn that trade, and we go open my own place 1940.
Okay. So when you opened your own place in 1940, when you first started, did you get a lot of business?
No, it take time and go.
Mm-hmm.
when I start opening up, I just have a few customers. Then when I make for you, it suit you, you go, you tell your friend, he bring to me and it go on and go and tell everybody, now hear about me, and people come from all different places.
Okay.
Yes.
So you wanted to be a chauffeur.
Yeah. chauffeur is not trade.
Why did you want to be a chauffeur?
No, well, me see people driving cars, some would like to drive too.
Oh.
So.
Are you...
My father was something.
So are you happy that your father told you no? And like looking at your career as a tailor, all the years and all the clothes that you've made for people, right? Are you happy that you decided to listen to him?
Well, I'm glad that when I tell him, you know, that I will go and I like tailor, and he say, all right.
Okay.
You know, and after many years after that, I'm glad that I did learn this trade. I learned it by one of my uncle. One of my uncle was a tailor.
Okay.
Uncle Eliezer, his name was Eliezer Shirley.
Okay, so that's on your father's side.
Yes.
Eliezer?
Yeah, Eliezer Shirley.
Eliezer Shirley. Okay. Now, does Eliezer have any children? Or did he have?
Yes, he have children.
Okay.
He have 2 children, but right now I just can't.
Like, did you keep in touch with those relatives or no? So it kind of fade out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those long years, I know them and they gone different places.
Do you know that a movie came out called a movie just came out, a new movie, talking about the life of a famous pianist. This guy who plays the piano. His name is I forget his first name, but his last name is Shirley, Dr. Shirley.
Dr. Shirley.
And he
But
in the 1950s.
you know when Dr. Shirley here.
But this man was a jazz, like a classical trained pianist in the 1950s and 60s, and he traveled all around the United States, playing for people like in like big halls like Carnegie Hall and those places. And so I'm wondering if we're related to this person, because now everybody's talking about it, but he is a Jamaican and his family
But
is
every
Shirley's related.
every Shirley in Jamaica is the same family.
Okay, so then
It's the same family. When you trace it out, you find that
it's the same.
But when I leave home and go to Trelawney and open shop here, I meet 2 guys, Bobby Shirley and William Shirley. And when we relate to them, who was my grandfather, we were the same family.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, so related.
And them helped me in Trelawney to get work for them, introduce me to people from go up to the estate. They take me up there and introduce me, and through that, man,
You meet a lot of
I get
people.
a lot of work.
See, so then you got your business got big.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever work on any big projects with your mother? Because your mother was a seamstress too, right?
Store.
Your mother was a seamstress.
Yeah.
So did you ever do any work with her together? Like maybe you get a really big job and you need help?
No.
No. So it's just you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see. We want to know what was your mother like? Was she mean? Was she nice? Was she like, how was she? Because this video now is going to introduce all the grandchildren to her, because I think the only grandchildren here who met her was just me and David. You know?
My mother was nice. She was not this free-handed, but she was a nice person, and she kind to people, but
yeah, she was like a no nonsense.
yes.
And they used to call her Miss Nicey.
Miss Nicey.
Yes. And what did they call your father?
Wait, what?
What did they call your father, your dad?
Latimer Shirley.
That's what they used to call him?
Yes. He's by name, that was his name.
But what did the people them call him?
Maslati.
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 Okay, so Miss Nicey and Maslati.
Miss Nicey and Maslati.
Okay. All right. So you're going to share with us some traditional stories from Jamaica. Now, This story, my mother told me this story, but I remember bits and pieces of it. Who told you this story?
My father.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's the story?
My father was telling me, when I was a little boy, my father told me this, that this man was going out. And when him reached to certain place, him see this man, but when him look down, the man have some teeth in him head. And him take, as a little boy, he take off. And was running so fast. And when him run a block or two, this other man called, said, why you running so much? So I'm going to tell the man this story, what happened. So him tell the man that him saw this man with this teeth, they so long. And him, then he tell him that, he run off. And then him go down and see another man and telling the man this story. The man said to him, say, his teeth like this, quality like this. And him run off again. And when him run about 2 blocks down, another man called, why you running so, my son? Him say, Lord, that time him can hardly breathe. Him say, Lord, sir, say a man, this the man has some teeth in him head. Him say, his teeth like this, quality like this, our sizes like this. And him take off again, and the man just have him going down for the whole night. He meet somebody, they say, his teeth like this, or quality like this.
Okay.
Yes.
So, when your dad told you that story back then, was it scary to you or was it funny?
No, it was funny to me, And I say I would like that to happen to me no time. Yes.
Okay.